Episode 14. Daniel is fine. I don't understand the bond between the two of you, and that makes my beast frustrated. I will not take the brat away from her. That's her task. And you are not hungry, and neither is she.
What?
Yes, we are hungry, very hungry. I can feel it inside of her. She is starving. No, and yes, it's called lust, Nora.
What? Lust?
OMG, she is a horned dog. I laughed out loud at her. Seriously, she called her Lycan a horned dog. I held up my hands and Nora's Lycan back away while glaring at me, but I just smiled. Nora turns slowly and effectively drops her aura, and I can hear the others release their breaths, but I stand still. I notice Beta Jessica and Delta Ryan are laying on the ground, so I slowly walk around Nora to go check on them. They pant heavily, and I help them up. They nod at me and focus on the challenge again. Beta Jessica asks me to stay in case the challenge goes south, and they would need help, so I stay with them and watch my mate almost beating the life out of the brat. I watch her as she suddenly stands down and shifts back. Nora is laying on her back panting like she has been trying to take control for a while now. When a Lycan is set on loose, it is almost impossible for the human counterpart to reign in control again, so to say that I am impressed is an understatement. Nora turns her head at me and glares before she gets up and turns her attention back at Emily. Stand down. Submit, Nora says, and without hesitation, Emily bares her neck. Delta Ryan approaches the girls and the shouts. The challenge is done. Nora wins as Emily stands down and shows submission. Can the mates come down here? I walk over to Nora, but she continues to glare at me, so I stop and smirk at he. Ben takes the same way down as me. He jumps down and walks over to us. Nora looks at him, and he looks at me, and I give him permission. Ben pulls Nora into his arms and hugs her. She puts her arms around him as she comforts him in a friendly manner. We heard bones snapping and Emily scream as the broken leg snaps in the wrong place. Miss Emily, you submitted, and so you will accept the rejection, and then you will accept your fate that Nora decides for you, Beta Jessica said. I, Emily, daughter of the Alpha from the Silver Stream Pack, hereby accept your rejection. Emily's voice was shaking as she said those words. Ben sucked in a breath, but Nora just walked over to her and kneeled in front of her. Listen closely, Emily, because I will spare your life, but you will live your life the way I did. I tilt my head and wonder what she means by that, and by the look in Emily's eyes she wonders too, when Nora's Lycan show herself again and force Emily's wolf out. You are the first wolf I could hear, and because of that and your endless friendship, I release you from your human counterpart. You can take control whenever you wish for it, and Emily will never be strong enough to force you down, ever again. Nora, promises this. You are a free wolf now, and so long as I am alive this will never change. I stare at Nora when she finishes. How in the hell did she do that? That is something I have never heard about. I will need to speak with the elders about this. Wow. So since Nora chose to let Emily live, this challenge is officially over and we can begin the tournament. Delta Ryan shouts and the crowd cheers. Nora takes my hand and I squeeze hers and look down at her. She meets my gaze and gives me a small smile. I lead her back and Ben follows us, leaving his former mate behind without a glance in her direction. We need to talk with your parents, princess. I say to Nora, and she raises an eyebrow at me. I have a lot of questions for them, and you will need some new clothes, I explain, and Nora looked down, and she stops. Shit, I am almost naked. Did you seriously notice that now? Ben asked, and Nora blushed. I was a bit busy, you know, she pouted like a child, making me chuckle. I took off my shirt and put it over her head. It looked like a dress on her body, but now she smelled like me, so I am happy. Nora's parents met us at the edge of the arena, and Nora hugged them hard. We need to talk, I told them, and they nodded. Yes, we know. Shall we talk now? Her mother answered, and I nodded. We walked away from the arena, and all the other wolves watching. We took a seat at one of the benches further out of the arena. So, I know that you have a lot of questions, Prince Helios, but we will try to tell the entire story first, and so we asked to save the questions to last, Nora's dad said, and I remained quiet. My beautiful girl, Nora. You were born as a Lycan, but what you don't know is that you are not only the last female Lycan, but you are also a female Lycan born from 2 werewolves. Nora, you are a true queen and the last royal warrior Lycan.
What?
That's impossible. Nora's point of view. The last royal warrior Lycan.
What is that?
I have heard about the 6 royal bloodlines, but all of them are gone except for one, Helios bloodline. The other 5 kingdoms were erased because of the war and because of the curse that led all female Lycans, but I haven't heard about a royal warrior Lycan before. I look up and see my parents smile sadly, and Helios look confused. Please tell me more, I beg them. To tell you the entire story would take too long, and we don't have that time, but I will tell you what I can. I was born between a Lycan and a werewolf. Your grandfather was a Lycan and my grandmother a werewolf. They weren't mates, but they fell in love and they had me. Then your grandmother met her mate, and he adopted me as his own.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.